is good? Good morning. Monday morning, March 14th, Pi Day. I am a former math major. That was literally in another life. It was another life form when I was a math major. Never did any, well, I did start out my career using math, but not using it now. But Pi Day still resonates. Just a pop-up live, one topic, had to get it off my chest. I almost like doing the lives better than when I do the pre-recorded. It always starts out and I have to stop, and it's just, I don't know, it's just something mentally. It feels weird doing the pre-recorded stuff now. Like I'm stumbling and bumbling. I'm like, it doesn't even happen like that when I do lives. I don't know. But I had a topic that I had my coffee and I was like, I have to talk about this so I can continue on with the rest of my day. This stuff is crazy what I'm seeing. I watched a video from China Uncensored today. I'm not going to be able to hang out too much. Just wanted to get this topic off my chest. But I saw a video from China Uncensored today. And it was really like eye-opening when I compare it to, and I have to give a shout out credit to Libs of TikTok, which has become an encyclopedia for our cultural civil war that's happening in America. They're really opening the door. This is not Libs of TikTok's fault. The problem that I have here is I'm like, is this just one-off stuff, or is it really like spreading like wildfire, this establishmentism religion with gender and race and all this and hating the country? That's the one thing I'm struggling with. You don't have perspective of how bad is it really. So I don't want to get caught up in the algorithm and think everything is like this when that's not reality. But I still want to show you a dichotomy of what happened here. So let me just start. I'm going to show you some clips here.
My students' videos.
I'm about to come out to all my students.
And it was like so awesome today. I was in charge of our like activity, and one of the kids referred to me as a girl, and one of my kids was like, Jamie doesn't have a gender. Jamie's not a girl.
So you see, you get the gist of it, that we are doing this, and this is nothing against anybody who puts value on that. I just want to kind of show a contrast and then ask a question. So this is nothing against gender, because identity is a very important thing. Like my goal is not to attack someone's identity. That I know a lot of people have been doing that. You can have different viewpoints without attacking someone's identity. And you don't have to agree with it. You don't have to celebrate it if that's not your thing. But to me, if someone wants to be called a pronoun and you don't want to honor that, I just don't understand. It's kind of like a nickname. I'm going to try and honor it just because I have respect for you. If somebody wants to be called Michael, I mean, they want to be, their name's Michael. They say, don't call me Mike. I prefer Michael. And you keep calling them Mike. Like, what kind of, like, why are you even talking to them? But here's what I want to show. Like, that's America. This is China. Ready for class. Like, this is the intro. Like, this is the warm up. Get ready for class. Ready. Place your books. Books are placed. Here.
And that's just the warm up.
That's just the warm up, y'all. I'm just showing the two sides. Do not come at me as the messenger. I'm just showing you two things that I'm seeing. I don't know. I fully acknowledge this is China Uncensored, to credit the channel on YouTube, China Uncensored. They're a great channel. I'm just showing you what I'm seeing. I'm not saying anything definitive. I don't live in China. I don't know how prevalent this is. It could be propaganda to make them look like they're more organized and tough. I don't know. I'm just showing you. So that's them. And then, you go back and this is us.
Oh my God. And like,
shout out
the kid was just like, what do you mean? And she
this is from Sydney Watson, which she got a lot of these videos from Libs of TikTok. So I got to give credit to both.
It was just like, Jamie doesn't have a gender. Jamie is not a girl.
There's something very wrong, maybe with you specifically, if you need your validation from school-age children.
That might be harsh to people, but where's the lie? So the problem that we're having is there's a lot of emotion going on, especially on the establishmentism side. Where is the lie? From what Sydney Watson just said right there in reply to it. So you might not like it. It might be insensitive. That's fine. But where's the lie?
Girl.
There's something very wrong, maybe with you specifically, if you need your validation from school-age children.
What do your students call you since you're non-binary? Miko's one of my students.
So this is an example. Both sides have indoctrination. Here's an example of what indoctrination that we're seeing in some schools, at least in some schools here in America.
What do you call me, Miko?
They, them.
I mean, this child just looks like she's under duress.
That's my pronouns, but what do you call me as your teacher?
Teacher Rogan.
So you know my pronouns are they, them. You know that you go.
Why does it look like a hostage situation? Both of them look like, China's look like a hostage situation, and this one is. So I want you to look at them, and I'm going to ask the question. I'm going to ask two questions. So I want you to look at them first, and then I'm going to ask two questions.
I go by Teacher Roby. What are your pronouns?
She, her.
Very good. And how do you feel about calling me Teacher Roby, and how do you feel about my pronouns being they, them?
I feel good about your pronouns, and I think you should accept yourself and don't listen.
Do you think that child feels the ability to say, nah, I don't, I'm good? Now, I would teach my child to respect their pronouns. But do you think that child feels safe to be like, you crazy right now? That child should be able to do that. The child should be able to say, nah, because this is opinion being taught as fact. That's what's happening. That's unconstitutional, what you're seeing here in America. So you're seeing indoctrination on both sides. Don't look at China and be like, oh, well, the negative is they're indoctrinating the children. What the hell do you think is happening here?
Into the dishes.
You should definitely accept yourself. Absolutely. I love that for you. And when sometimes...
That was great editing by Sid. I think Sydney did that, or whoever edits her videos. I don't think that was in the original one where she showed the tell of the, you could say a lie or being disingenuous when she showed the close-up of the eyes going off to the side. That was brilliant editing, whoever did that.
You should accept yourself and don't listen to the disrespect.
You should definitely accept yourself. Absolutely. I love that for you. And when sometimes if a student messes up my pronouns and says she, her, or calls me Miss Roby, what do I say?
You say she or they.
Right. And then I also will remind you to call me what?
Teacher Roby.
I have somebody who has narcissistic pathology.
I am an out teacher.
So that's what we're seeing. Here's what we're seeing in China. Follow, keep with me.
世界瞩目的焦点，乌克兰。
So I'm going to fast forward to the part where they're talking about soldiers and then Ukraine.
This is now officially the creepiest viral trend.
谁的兵？你的兵。谁的团？你的团。国际局势风云突变，乌克兰成为世界瞩目的焦点。
Ukraine has become the independent. In the 20th century, Ukraine was once a country of riches. Because of the dissolution of the Soviet Union, Ukraine, being the second son of the USSR, inherited a huge military. So they're literally talking about the weapons. They're talking about the battle tanks, like in the war, Russia versus Ukraine. Talking about aircraft carriers. They know the number of aircraft carriers, the number of tanks. I used to play football, Cleveland Heights High. I played football. Well, this one was from middle school, actually. It was middle school, and our rival was Shaw. And I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this for the rest of my life. This is probably 1990, I'm guessing. We go on, our football team was a mess. I mean, we were just disorganized. We didn't have leaders. And we went to play our rivals. And before the game, it was a away game. We're at the game there at a rival stadium for football. We saw them warming up, and they looked like this classroom. They were disciplined. They were all ready. They were all chanting in unison. We were on the other side, kind of like, look, because we just warmed up. We didn't do anything in unison. We weren't linked up. We were just randomly stretching. And when we saw them yelling and all in unison, like it was like a military preparation, nobody on our team said anything. We just looked at each other. We looked at each other like this. I don't know what's happening right now. And their field was all grimy and dirty. We went out on the field and they beat our ass. And we knew before the game that we were going to get our ass beat. Nobody said that. Nobody looked at each other and said, they about to beat our ass. We just looked at each other and we knew what we were saying. Here's my point. Here's one of my questions. Yeah, I know both of them are creepy. Okay, those are your two options. You don't have another option in my scenario. I know there's other things with authoritarian, with the whole country and social credit score in China. What the hell do you think they're trying to do in America? They're trying to fire people who didn't take an experimental drug. It's no different. They didn't get it done. Luckily, the Constitution and the Supreme Court at this moment gives us a little bit more time to try and save things. But they're trying to do the same thing. So don't act like China's like, oh my gosh, oh my God, state-sponsored media. What the hell is CNN? They're banning people from saying stuff. So we're not there yet, but that's where they're trying to aspire to be. So from the standpoint, forget about your emotion. When you look at, they're talking about military weapons. In what grade is that? They're like little kids. Get wrecked. Who would you choose? Just be honest. I don't want any lies. I'm not here for any lies. I'm not here for emotion right now. Emotion is legitimate. I'm not here for that right now. My question is, if you had to choose the American classroom that I'm showing you or this one, and I'm not making any grandiose statement that all American classrooms are like that, because I don't know that, or all Chinese are like that. Let's just do this scenario. You pick those classes and the classrooms that we're seeing here. Who gets wrecked? I want a true, honest answer about that. Motions are legit, but sometimes you gotta balance this out, people on the left. Like, this is crazy. And this is compounded by generation and generation. That's what they're doing there. Over here, we're making it cool to be triggered by our own American flag.
I was driving around yesterday with my husband and we kept seeing American flags everywhere for 4th of July. And am I the only one that Trump has ruined the flag for? Because now I just see American flags and go, oh yeah, those are probably assholes.
That's us. This is them. The children.
Why are Chinese
Their children would wreck our adults.
students being forced to recite all of the different weaponry Ukraine had?
Ukraine has squandered everything. They've inherited military from the old Soviet Union. Now they've become the most remorseful country. Ooh, powerful words. What's the lesson we have learned? Listen to this lesson. This is what I've been talking about. When we look at foreign issues, like the but international issues, geopolitical issues, our concern in America should be, how does it affect us? Not how we can get 14 billion to Ukraine. So they're treating they're indoctrinating the kids in China this, and I'm going to read this, self-reliance. So they talked about Ukraine and Russia, and here's their takeaway. Self-reliance. We must study hard. What do you think they're studying critical theory? Xi Jinping grew up under Mao. He knows the power of that. They could use that to manipulate their students, but they're studying math. They're studying military. Where do they get the number of tanks in Ukraine memorized? Self-reliance. We must study hard. Build the motherland. Defend the motherland. They're talking about their own country. They're so in sync. The silence is, I used to play in an orchestra. It's, you got to practice. So everybody has their quarter. They hold out their whole note the exact same time. That's why you have a conductor. But you got to practice that. And you know what happens? You hold out your note too long, and everyone stopped, they're looking at you like, did you pay attention when we practiced this? You go back and you go to your orchestra every week. You get your down bow and up bow in sync. And if you didn't go up, up, down, like everybody else went up, up, down, everybody looking at you like you didn't practice this week, did you? We might need to move you to the back. I'm not condoning either side. I'm just saying who gets wrecked. It's not even a debate. I don't even want, I mean, it's a rhetorical question. If you don't agree that these children would wreck and just in general, studying, not even just battle, just mentality, toughness, battle, preparation. It's not even, it's a rhetorical question.
And if that's not weird enough, there's this.
So the way I look at this, they're singing the song, "We Will Bravely Defend the Motherland," while we're triggered by the flag, the American flag. They're singing that we'll bravely defend the motherland. I'm going to end on this. If you only forget about wrecked or whatever you think that means, which one would you can only choose one. So don't give me an argument that both are bad. This isn't A, B, or C, none of the above. No. I'm putting you in a fork in the road. There's only two paths. Which path is stronger? Which path or forget about stronger. Which path would you prefer? So don't forget, that's what they're doing in schools there. And remember what China's implanting on us here, what they're trying to do. This is Chinese state-sponsored media promoting critical theory in America.
Remember, being not racist just keeps things the way they are now. By being anti-racist, you can help lead our children to a brighter future.
So they're talking about just basically Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, Nicole Hannah-Jones nonsense. I asked her on Twitter, are you concerned about China? No response. That's what they're trying to do for us. And over there, they're singing how they'll bravely defend their motherland. I need to know. Let me know where I am wrong. Thanks a lot for stopping by. Take care.